So let's get into tonight's topic. I want to talk about the Chintamani stone.
Okay.
And it appears to be a trapezohedron made of black stone or ore with glowing striations. However, it is more or less than stone. Scientists would not be able to study it completely because it exists only partially in humanity's concept of matter and space. It is more than an artifact. It is a key to doors that were sealed aeons ago. Part of the stone was kept in a monastery in Tibet, the second in the Museum of Natural History in Manhattan, and the final piece in the city of Agartha. One ancient South American legend relates the god Tavira built a temple on an island in the lake Titicaca to hold 3 holy stones called the Kala. Similarly, 3 black stones were venerated by the Muslims in the Kaaba at the Great Mosque in Mecca. There are several traditions associated with the stones, but all agree on its celestial origin. Muslims say the stones were originally white, but turned black after absorbing dark or evil thoughts. In Hungary, near the village of Strego Kaviar, there was a monolith that 19th century occultist spoke as one of the keys. There was a lot of superstition regarding the stone and the monolith, especially the assertion that if anyone slept in its vicinity, they would be haunted by monstrous nightmares of another world afterwards forever. In many texts, the stone is referred to as the shining trapezohedron. Now, the thing with the shining trapezohedron, I want to give you an image of what this would probably look like. This is a prop image of a shining trapezohedron, inspired by The Hunter in the Dark by H.P. Lovecraft. Oh, Mecca's here. How you doing, Mecca?
Hey, Mecca.
Exhausted.
Yeah.
Run it in. Last minute as usual.
You made it. Yay.
Yay.
Incoming
Look
message.
at that.
Yeah, this is just a prop, but this kind of gives you an impression of what the Chintamani stone would look like.
Yeah, I figured it'd be like metallic, but
That's cool.
Chintamani stone. You know, I know somebody who makes stuff like this.
yeah,
I wonder if they could make a Chintamani stone. Be cool to have one.
like props, like movie props
Yeah,
and stuff. Yeah.
like resin things.
Ah, cool. Okay. Yeah, we both know somebody who does that.
Yeah. No, but I know
Maybe,
somebody who's
yeah.
a business doing it.
Oh, gotcha. Cool. I like the little case it's in too.
Yeah, I think that's pretty. I think it's pretty well done as well. It's all together. It looks like it was done by somebody named Gage Prentice.
Okay.
So I guess if you want to look for this artist's work, it's Gage, Gage, Prentice, Prentiss. So you can see more of this artist's work. I do think this is very interesting and also illustrates to some degree what we're talking about tonight, the Chintamani stone. So as our the shining trapezohedron is an artifact in the fictional Cthulhu mythos of H.P. Lovecraft. Described in Haunter of the Dark, it was discovered in Egyptian ruins in a box of alien construction by Professor Enoch Bowden before he returned to Providence, Rhode Island in 1884. Members of the Starry Wisdom cult in Providence would awaken the Haunter in the Dark, an aspect of the Rothotep, by gazing into a glowing crystal. Summoned from the black gulfs of chaos, this being could show other worlds, other galaxies, and secrets of arcane and paradoxical knowledge, but he demanded monstrous sacrifice, hinted at by disfigured skeletons that were later found in the church. The Haunter in the Dark was banished by light and could not cross a light barrier. The shining trapezohedron is a window over all space and time. It was created on the dark Yuggoth and brought to Earth by the Old Ones, where it was placed in a box aeons before the first human beings. It has further history in Atlantis and with the pharaohs of Egypt until it was finally unearthed and brought to New England. After the death of Robert Blake, who came to grieve after discovering the shining trapezohedron and deciphering text about it from ancient evil cults, The artifact was removed from the black windowless temple where it was found and thrown into the deepest channel of Narragansett Bay. Presumably, it will stay in the depths until it is once again discovered and brought forth to curse mankind. The crazily angled stone that is the shining trapezohedron is unlikely to be a true trapezohedron because of the old one's penchant for bizarre non-Eleusinian angles. Now, a number of esoteric and suppressed volumes dating back to the Gnostic tradition mention the original form of the stone as a trapezohedron. An Arab scholar who went by the name Abdul al-Hazred wrote of this in his 18th century manuscript Kitab al-Azif. Von Junz alluded to it in his Unausprechlichen Kulten, as did Ponape, Scripture, and Penn's De Vermis Mysteries. The most recent mention of the stones is from the 1920s and directly references the reason why the stones were called keys. In Buddhist and Taoist, there is the tradition of 8 immortals, 8 masters who reside beneath a mountain on the Chinese-Tibetan border. The city, known as Agartha in some legends, and Hingswang-mu in others, is possibly underground and has been said by many to be near Lhasa. There have been numerous and dubious rumors of expeditions of tunnels leading to the city, but the most convincing came from Nicholas Roerich, a Russian artist and mystic. During his travels in Asia, in the first decade of the 20th century, he heard about the 8 immortals and their abode in the mountains. He learned from a native guide about a huge vault inside the Kunlun mountain range where treasures had been stored from the beginning of history and of strange gray people. In the 1920s, a high abbot from the Trasilumpo Lamasery entrusted Roerich with a fragment of a magical stone from another world. The Chintamani stone, alleged to have come from the Sirius system. Ancient Asian texts claim that when the Son of the Sun descends upon earth to teach mankind, there fell from heaven a shield which bore the power of the world. Roerich's wife wrote that the stone possessed a dark luster, like a dark heart, with 4 unknown letters. Roerich recognized the 4 letters on the stone to be Sanskrit and translated them to mean, "Through the stars I come, I bring the chalice covered with the shield. Within it I bring treasure, the gift of Orion." Its radiation was stronger than radium, but on a different frequency. Asian legend states that this radiation covers a vast area and influences world events. The main mass of the stone is kept in a tower in the city of the Starborn. According to the ancient text, the stone was sent from Tibet to King Solomon in Jerusalem, who split the stone and made a ring out of one piece. Centuries later, Muhammad took 3 other fragments to Mecca. A smaller fragment was sent with Roerich to Europe to help aid the establishment of the League of Nations. With the failure of the League, Roerich returned the fragment to the lamasery in Tibet. Supposedly, the 13th Dalai Lama decreed that the fragments were to be kept in separate places for safekeeping. During Roerich's journey to Tibet, he reported he saw flying discs, and he used 2 decades before the phrase was coined. His guide told him they were from the city of Agartha. Roerich speculated that the stone was a form of moldavite, a magnetic mineral said to be a spiritual accelerator. Some historians said the stone can act as a homing beacon, leading to the main piece and the city of the 8 immortals. The abbot told Roerich how the immortals were made of air and clay, formed by Mu Kung, the sovereign of Eastern air, and Wang Mu, the queen of Western air. A post-Taoist twist, they were from a planet in the solar system of Sirius and established an outpost in the Tibetan mountains to conduct their genetic hybrid experiments. Roerich's theory about the stone is that it is charged with shrugs, currents of psychic force. He speculated it resembled an electric accumulator and may give back, in one way or another, the energy stored within it. For instance, it will increase the spiritual vitality of anyone who touches it, infusing him with knowledge or enhancing psychic ability that allows him to glimpse Agartha, the valley of the 8 immortals. The stone, according to Balaam, is a key to all futures and everyone's destiny. It is a point of power, a non-technological quantum vortex. So there we go. That sets it up, I think, very nice. That gives a nice explanation of what we're talking about here when we talk about the Chianti stone. It fell from space long ago in the past. Why it was broken into pieces, I don't know if that happened on impact or not.
Probably, yeah, right? That would make sense. Why would you want to break it up, otherwise?
But the Dalai Lama, the 13th Dalai Lama, ordered them separated for safekeeping. So what's the thinking behind that? Why keep them separate? Like, what happens if you bring them together? Are they like the Dragon Balls or something?
Skulls?
Yes.
To Dragon Balls, yeah. Possibly. I mean, why else, right?
Mm-hmm.
They must do something.
Yeah, I'm looking at some moldavite here.
Yeah.
Just to get an idea of what material we're talking about.
It's volcanic. It's green. As I was telling Jake in the chat just now, I got a piece of moldavite.
Yeah, here, I'll share a picture of it with everybody.
It's sort of bubbly. Two little bubbles in it. Sort of bubbly.
Hup. Hup.
What?
Hup.
Up.
I had a little echo going on there for a second.
No,
Just a little bit of echo going on.
it happens.
That's how it goes. That's how it happens.
And actually, when they finished that stone, it can be actually really pretty. It's hard to find one though that's not like bubbly like that. Even the finished ones, I guess, have a few bubbles in them. Pretty stone though. I like green.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty good looking stone, I gotta say, it's a nice color.
Yeah, like.
Just imagine this in a very bizarre shape, and also came from space,
Right.
And had powers to influence the world around it. Like a wishing rock. I don't know, but it was enough that it was essentially about helping to bring about the League of Nations, but it failed. So the stone didn't work.
What was I saying? It's not volcanic. Yeah, moldavite is from outer space. Sorry.
Well, no, there's Chianti stones from outer space.
Yeah, so's moldavite though. That was from a crashed my brain's drawing a blank again. Not comet, but it's from space. Meteorite. Thank you. Jesus. Yes, meteorite. So moldavite is also from outer space.
Oh, okay. You can buy Chianti stones all over the place. They're all online to buy.
Yeah. I even saw they had some guitar picks made out of meteorite that I saw not too long ago.
Oh, cool.
The Chianti stone is said by some to be the equivalent of the Philosopher's Stone in Western alchemy. It is one of several Mani jewel images found in Buddhist scripture. And these are various jewels that are philosophical or mythical relics. Buddhism, it is held by the Bodhisattvas, divine beings with great compassion, wisdom, and power. The Avalokitesvara Shrava and the Kis Iti Garbaha. It is also seen carried upon the back of Lumnata, the wind horse, which is depicted on Tibetan prayer flags. By reciting the Dharani, small hymn of Chintamani, Buddhist tradition maintains that one attains the wisdom of Buddha, able to understand the truths of the Buddha and true afflections into Bodhi. It is said to allow one to see the holy retinue of Amitabha and assemble upon one's deathbed. In Tibetan Buddhist tradition, the Chintamani is sometimes depicted as a luminous pearl and is in the possession of several different forms of the Buddha. With Hinduism, it is connected with the gods Vishnu and Ganesh. In Hindu tradition, it is also often depicted as a fabulous jewel in the possession of the Naga king, or on the forehead of Makara, the Yogi Vastisthita. Originally written in the 10th century AD, contains a story about the Chintamani. It speaks of the Sayamanta jewel, bestowing prosperity upon its owner, encapsulating the Yadu clan system. The Vishnu Purana is attributed to the mid-1st millennium AD, and it draws on earlier religions or folklore. So yeah, and there's lots of depictions of Hindu goddesses with the Chiamanti stone in their hand. You know, what appears to be representation of the Chiamanti stone. Interesting stuff. I think it also appears in a video game. I think it's with whatever. What are they called? Is the Nathan Drake one Uncharted? I think.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah, those were Uncharted.
Yeah, I think it's in Uncharted.
Yeah, I got those. I never played them yet, though.
Yeah, I never played them either.
Disengaged.
I don't have a PlayStation.
I do. Of course, I got hit by lightning again, but I have one.
Yeah. So, Nicholas Roerich. This is from Mark Amaru Pinkham from Four Corners Magazine. Mark Amaru Pinkham is the author of Guardians of the Holy Grail, The Knights Templar, John the Baptist and the Waters of Life, which cover a history of many Holy Grail manifestations, including the Chintamani Stone. Mark is co-director of the International Order of Gnostic Templars in Sedona and leads tours to many sacred places around the world associated with the Knights Templar and the Holy Grail mysteries. You can check that out at gnostictemplar.org or at bodymindspiritjourneys.com. Let's see if these links still work. The International Order of Gnostic Templars. Yep, that one works. And Body, Mind, Spirit's Journey also works. Tours of Enlightenment. Click here to see your tours available now. Yes, go on tours around the world to sacred places. See them all. See the sacred sites. Why not? What are you holding back? What are you fucking waiting for?
Get your ass in gear.
I got a comment the other day. Somebody was very upset that I dropped the F-bomb. Very upset about it. Oh,
What?
my God. They were so upset.
Say it ain't so, Pete. Did
Oh
you?
no. Not the F-bomb.
Right?
Yes, apparently I used it too many times for their liking.
Oh,
Too many times. They were very upset.
you foul mouth fucker, you.
I know.
Yeah, what the fuck's their problem?
I don't fucking know, Meg. I'm sick of it.
Like in Star Trek, I can see that's a problem, but like on this stuff,
Yeah, for real.
There's a reason why we come on so late.
this
you know?
dude used to have a fucking mohawk, the same color as my hair.
Hello.
That's
6
true,
inches.
that's true.
Count all
I
the
follow all these
inches.
punk rock accounts on Instagram, and I'm like, man, I'm so out of fucking touch. And I still know people who like do it, and I'm like, you know, like they do both. Like they're, you know, they're
Normal
domestic
and
and
every
rock
day.
at the same time, and it's just like I can't bring myself to do. I'm too fat to fit in the clothes for one.
You
Too
gotta look
fat
the
for
part.
clothes.
Yeah, you gotta look the part, Pete.
Like, where do I gotta go? It's not like it shows.
Kids won't care. They may find it entertaining. Who knows? You dressed up.
Oh, I was half tempted to shave a mohawk in earlier today because my hair's long enough in the back to do it.
Do it.
No, I'm not gonna
Do
I
it.
mean, it's not like you gotta go into your job or anything.
Yeah.
do it. Yeah,
Do
that's
it,
true. That's
Do
true.
it. Do it.
No,
Do it.
no, not happening. So let me see. Nicholas Rourke and the Chiamanti Stone. So with the current massive outpouring of information regarding the fabled Holy Grail. It is impossible to ignore what may be the very first Holy Grail on Earth, the Chintamani Stone, the treasure of the world. Between 1923 and 1928, this stone, which first manifested on Earth many thousands of years before the Cup of Christ, was taken by the great Russian artist and mystic Nicholas Roerich into the heartland of the Far East in order to reunite it with the mother stone it had been separated from, a massive jewel that resides in Shambhala, the land of the immortals. The Chintamani stone, which is of extraterrestrial origin, has supposedly been brought to Earth by emissaries from a planet orbiting the star Sirius, and then handed over to Shambhala's principal resident, the elusive king of the world, a monarch known by many mystics in the East, but only a handful of occultists in the West. In regards to its identity and Holy Grail legends, the Chintamani stone appears to be synonymous with the Stone of Heaven. The Holy Grail manifestation mentioned by Wolfram von Eschenbach in his famous Grail rendition known as Parzival, which is regarded by most Grail scholars to be the most complete and authoritative of the Grail legends. The Chintamani stone fits the profile of Eschenbach's enigmatic Stone of Heaven because, like its literary counterpart, the treasure of the world is said to possess both the power to make a human immortal, as well as to have come to Earth from heaven, a truth that's supposedly engraved upon it as Sanskrit letters that Roerich once translated to, "Though I come through the stars, I come. I bring the chalice covered with the shield." Like Eisenbach's stone, the Chiamanti stone is apparently also green in color. Since Roerich is on the record as also stating the Chintamani stone is similar in appearance to a species of meteorite known as Moldavite, which is dark green in color, if the Chintamani stone is indeed Eisenbach's Stone of Heaven, it could also be the original Philosopher's Stone, which legends assert turns base metal into gold and a human into an immortal deity. Could the original Holy Grail, the one that was later emulated by all Holy Grails, including the Cup of Christ and the Wood of the True Cross, with so much evidence in support of its power and existence, it does appear that the study of the Chintamani stone should warrant special consideration in any contemporary Holy Grail research. The information is scant concerning the Chintamani stone, but supposedly the extraterrestrial stone is stronger than penetrating radium, and its dynamic rays can instantly increase a person's own vibratory frequency, while bestowing upon him or her the ability to see into the past and future, evolve into an immortal human being, or even secure world dominion. It has also been suggested the stone cannot never be adequately tested because of much of it exists in a higher dimensional frequency than the one we exist within. Other pertinent data regarding the Chintamani stone maintains that it was brought to Earth by Syrian missionaries during a remote era in order to eventually help precipitate a one-world civilization based upon mutual support, love, and equality. In order to effectuate this lofty goal, the Syrians are believed to have throughout history made the stone remain in the possession of certain planetary rulers or organizations that have been in positions of influencing the world on a grand scale. Since its arrival on Earth, the Chintamani stone has, for example, been in the possession of he who is the supreme consciousness governing all the world from the etheric plane, the king of the world. While parts of it have been in the possession of such acclaimed conquerors and empire builders as King Solomon, Genghis Khan, and Akbar the Great. There is some indication that one part of the stones had been the sacred stones of the Kaaba, which has united millions of Muslims around the globe. In recent history, it is known that a portion of the Chintamani stone was given to the founders of the League of Nations, whose stated goals were the creation of a one-world civilization free of hate and war. This was the stone that Nicholas Roerich carried back to Shambhala following the collapse of the international organization. One burning question remains in regards to the current whereabouts of the Chintamani stone. Did Roerich complete his journey to Shambhala? is the sacred stone back in the land of the immortals? Most historians agree that Rorak did not technically reach Shambhala, but instead arrived in a Tibetan location which is intimately connected to it. One such location is Sigasi, home of the Tashulompo Monastery and headquarters of the Panchen Lama, one of the ruling lamas of Tibet, who is sometimes referred to as higher in the planetary spiritual hierarchy than even the Dalai Lama himself. Legend states that there are many underground tunnels connecting the monastery with Shambhala, and that it is accepted truth that certain incumbent Panchen Lamas have physically traveled there over the course of many hundreds of years. The third Panchen Lama even wrote a book called Road to Shambhala, which he outlined directions on how to travel overland to Shambhala. Another salient connection that forever links the Panchen Lama, Shingansi, and Shambhala is the Kala Chakra Tantra, an intensive form of Tantric Buddhism taught and practiced in both places. During the time Rorik would have visited Singasti, the holy Tibetan city was a world headquarters of the Great White Brotherhood and swarming with ascended masters such as Master Kuthumi and Master Moria, an adept who taught Nicholas and his wife Helena the path of the Angi Yoga, an alchemical path based on the teachings of the Kala Chakra. Previous to Rorik's visit in Tibet, Madame Blavatsky had made a similar excursion to Singasti to study with the Great White Brotherhood and to acquire information for her tomes on esoteric history, which included Isis Unveiled and The Secret Doctrine. One of Blavatsky's students, Alice Bailey, is noted for having later received numerous transmissions regarding Shambhala and the King of the World from Master Dijwal Kul, who was a resident of Sagasti at the time. Could the Chiamanti stone have really come from Sirius? Did humans have contact with Syrians in the ancient past? Perhaps. In the last century, anthropologists in Mali discovered that some of the African country's tribes, such as the Dogon and the Bozo, claimed to have once had visitations from Syrian missionaries who acted as their teachers. To prove their claims, these tribes revealed some obscure information translated to them from their mentors, which included knowledge of the Syrian grouping of 3 stars, as well as knowledge of the moons surrounding distant parts of planets in our solar system. Such information could only be acquired through observation with very high-powered telescopes, a luxury these primitive tribes were never in position to possess. Robert Temple, author of The Sirius Mystery, which records the history of the Dogon people and their encounters with the Syrians, found another possible Earth link with Sirius soon after his book was published. Members of Freemasonry, who had long known of Sirius as the Great White Lodge in the galaxy, and commonly depicted in their lodges as the Blazing Star, contacted Temple and invited him to become an initiate of their organization. Although Temple could not subsequently find explicit indications that Freemasonry has been in direct contact with Syrian missionaries in the past, he did find intriguing clues connecting them to the star Sirius, including the eye within the triangle symbol, which currently surmounts the pyramid on the U.S. seal. The triangle, an ancient Freemasonic symbol, depicts the great architect of the universe and is closely associated with the Dogon referred to as the eye of the universe, the dwarf star Digitaria, that is part of the trinitized Syrian grouping of stars and recognized by the tribe as the creator of the universe. The U.S. seal eventually became featured on the back of the U.S. dollar bill during the administration of Franklin Roosevelt, who himself was a high-ranking Freemason and Shriner, and before that was a symbol of the 18th century Illuminati, who sought to achieve the Syrian goal of a one-world civilization, although it's believed they did so with less than purely altruistic intentions. Temple also discovered another clue indicating a close connection between Freemasons and Sirius. The day of U.S. independence by the Freemasonic Founding Fathers, July 4th, is one of the days of the year when our sun is in its closest alignment with Sirius. When Nicholas Roerich was touring Tibet and Mongolia, he constantly heard cries among the Buddhist monks of, "It is the time of Shambhala." According to the monks of the King of the World, would soon sweep down from Shambhala with a huge army to destroy all evil upon the earth before declaring himself our planet's eternal ruler. Supporting his inevitable rule was destined to be the Chintamani Stone, which currently resides in the King's Tower, the very center of Shambhala. Rorik and his mentors within the Great White Brotherhood and the Theosophical Society, founded by Madame Blavatsky, maintain that the army of the King in the world is in truth a power emanating from Shambhala that continually raises the frequency of our planet. It was, for example, this power that fueled World War II and ultimately led to the fall of the Third Reich, even after the Nazis' attempt to harness it for their own self-serving purposes. Eventually, this transformative power will destroy all energetic blockages that exist at a lower frequency than itself: negativity, greed, control, etc., while simultaneously accelerating the evolution of all life forms on Earth. Once it has completed its predestined goal, a state of theosophists, a planetary civilization based on love and equality will finally emerge. Perhaps then the King of the World and his Chintamani Stone will make their presence known universally to all. So I want to take a break there before I got a couple excerpts here to follow up with. Because I do want to talk about Rorik a little more. But I like this idea where, and this is connected to Ascended Master teachings, obviously. If you've been paying attention to some of the stuff we've been talking about for the last few weeks, you definitely see when we were talking about the King of the World, this is a character known as Sanat Kumara in these teachings, in these New Age kind of Ascended Master teachings. Theosophy is essentially the foundational work that sets up the New Age. Jay Carr points out the Great White Brotherhood, not something to go running your mouth about when applying for a job. It's not a racial thing, though. It's like light and love. The Great White Light and Great White Brotherhood. It's not supposed to be a racial thing.
Hopefully he's kidding.
I know that he's aware of that, but for other people, I'm making them well aware.
True.
It's not racial. Yeah, so this really does tie in with a lot of Ascended Master teachings and the foundational aspects of what would become the New Age movement later on. And that New Age movement really comes out of, I would say, Theosophy in the 20s and 30s. Then you have an occult revival that happens in the 60s. The 60s had a big influence on what would become the New Age. And the New Age starts to crop up at that point. You got LaVey, is Institute of Church City. You got the whole tune in, drop out generation going on. Everybody's dropping acid and going to Woodstock or whatever. But there was a spiritual growth. There was a spiritual expansion at that time where people were looking back into the occult again during the 60s. It happened in the 1880s. It happened in the 1920s. It happened in the 1960s. And I think it did happen again in the 1980s, where people would say the 1980s was the height of the Satanic Panic, where people were the most afraid of the occult things.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't in the 1880s, it was parlor tricks. It was a game. Seances were a game. Hey, come on, let's have a seance.
Right.
Well, they did that because that's what the parlor was used for, to lay out your body and have your funeral there, because everybody was dying so rapidly. Life expectancy was a lot lower. People died a lot quicker. And then it wasn't until, what was it, Victoria, who said, oh, no, it's going to be called the living room now. No more of this for the dead. No, these rooms for the dead. That's why they renamed it the living room. I want to say it was Queen Victoria.
I've never heard that, Mecca. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's an interesting tidbit right there.
Oh, I thought you knew about that one. You usually know all the stuff I bring in. It might not have been Queen Victoria, but it was still in that's the parlors were laid out for. They were viewing rooms for bodies, for wakes, for the most part.
That's depressing. A whole damn room set up all the time in your house for viewing dead people.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it was more of a grand sort of drawing room, sort of a visitor's room.
Yeah. Like you said, more people were dropping dead back then.
Hmm.
Quicker. Makes sense.
Come with me into the parlor.
With my recently deceased aunt.
We're dropping like flies around here. We're constantly got a rotation of bodies
That's right.
in this room. Yeah, please make yourself comfortable.
Keeping up with the Joneses means you had more dead bodies in your parlor.
We've got stacks of them in here.
Right?
Oh, what a terrible time to be alive.
Yeah.
Oh, even now.
I'd say if your central room was a morgue, it would be a terrible time.
So yeah, Rorick's an interesting character. He was a painter, a writer, an archaeologist, a theosophist, a philosopher, and a public figure. Who in his youth was influenced by a movement in Russian society around the spiritual. He was interested in hypnosis and other spiritual practices, and his paintings are said to have hypnotic expression.
Busy man.
Yeah, well, after the revolution of 1917, the end of the Tsarist regime, he was a political moderate who valued Russia's cultural heritage more than ideology and political party politics. So he participated with the Gorky Commission and its successor organization, the Arts Union, both attempting to gain the attention of the Provisional Government and the Petrograd Soviets on the need to form a coherent cultural policy and, most urgently, protect art and architecture from destruction and vandalism. At the same time, illness forced Rorik to leave the capital and reside in Kaleria, a district bordering Finland. He had already quit the presidency of the World of Arts Society and now quit the directorship of the School of the Imperial Society for the Encouragement of the Arts. After the October Revolution and the acquisition of power by Lenin's Bolshevik Party, Rorik became increasingly discouraged about Russia's political future. During 1918, he, Helena, and their two sons, George and Stevanoslav, emigrated to Finland. Two unresolved historical debates are associated with his departure. First, it's also claimed that he was a major candidate to direct a people's commissariat of culture, the Soviet equivalent of a Ministry of Culture, which the Bolsheviks considered establishing during 1917 and 1918, but that he refused to accept the job. In fact, Benoist was the most likely choice to direct any such commissariat, and it seemed that Rorik was the perfect choice to manage this department of artistic education. The topic rendered moot by the fact that the Soviets elected not to establish such a commissariat. Second, when Rorik wished to later reconcile with the USSR, he maintained that he had not left Soviet Russia deliberately, but that he and his family, living in Kaleria, had been isolated from their homeland when the Civil War began in Finland. However, Rorik's extreme hostility towards the Bolshevik regime was prompted not so much by a dislike of communism as a revulsion of Lenin's ruthlessness and his fear that Bolshevism was result in the destruction of Russia's artistic and architectural heritage was amply documented. He illustrated Leonid Andreyev's anti-communist polemic SOS and had widely published pamphlet Violators of the Art 1918 and 1919. Rorik believed that the triumph of Russian culture would come about through a new appreciation of ancient myth and legend. After some months in Finland and Scandinavia, he relocates to London in mid-1919, engrossed with theosophical mysticism. They now had millenarian expectations that a new age was imminent, and they wished to travel to India as soon as possible. They joined the English-Welsh chapter of the Theosophical Society. It was in London in March 1920. They founded their own school of mysticism, Agni Yogi, which they referred to as the System of Living Ethics. To earn passage to India, Rorik worked as a stage designer for a garden theater, but the enterprise ended unsuccessfully in 1920, and the artist never received payment for his work. Among the notable people that Rorik befriended while in England were the famous British Buddhist Christian Humphreys, philosopher author H.G. Wells, and the poet Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore, whose grandniece Devika Rani would later marry Rorik's son Stevanoslav. A successful exhibition in London resulted in an invitation from the director of the Art Institute of Chicago offering to arrange for Rorik's art to tour the United States during the autumn of 1920. The Roriks traveled to America by sea. They remained in America from 1920 until May of 1923. A large exhibition of Rourke's art, organized partially by the U.S. impresario Christian Brinton and partially by the Chicago Art Institute, began in New York in December 1920 and toured the country to San Francisco and back during 1921 and early 1922. Rourke befriended acclaimed soprano Mary Garden of the Chicago Opera and received a commission to design the 1922 production of Rimsky-Korsakov's The Snow Maiden for her. During the exhibition, Rourke spent significant amounts of time in Chicago, New Mexico, and California. Politically, he was first an anti-Bolshevik. He gave lectures and wrote articles to white Russian populations in which he criticized the Soviet Union. However, his aversion to communism, the impertinent monster that lies in humanity, changed in America. Rourke claims that his spiritual masters, the Mahatmas in the Himalayas, were communicating telepathically with him through his wife, who was a mystic and a clairvoyant. These beings from an esoteric Buddhist community in India were said to have told Rourke that Russia was destined for a mission on Earth. This led him to formulate his great plan, envisioning the unification of millions of Asian people throughout a religious movement using the future Buddha, or Maitreya, into a second union of the East. Here, the king of Shambhala would, following the Maitreya prophecies, make his appearance to fight a great battle against the evil forces on Earth. Rourke understood this as perfection towards common good. The new polity was to include Southwest Altai, Tuva, Buryatina, Outer and Inner Mongolia, Xinjiang, and Tibet, with its capital situated in Zavangurad, the city of tolling bells, which is to be built at the foot of Mount Balukia in Altai. According to Rourke, these same Mahatmas revealed to him in 1922 he was an incarnation of the fifth Dalai Lama. This Asian expedition, I want to get to that in a minute, but I should point out, in 1923, Rourke set out to the Himalayas with his wife and son, Yuri. He initially settled in Dajiring, the same house where the 13th Dalai Lama had stayed during his exile in India. Rourke spent some time painting the Himalayas with visitors such as F.M. Bailey, Lady Lytton, and members of the 1924 British Everest expedition, as well as the Sonam Wangfel Laden La Kushoduri and the Tarasong Shape, influential Tibetans. According to British intelligence, lamas from the Moreau Monastery recognized Rourke as the incarnation of the fifth Dalai Lama due to a mole pattern on his right cheek. It was during his stay in the Himalayas that Rourke learned about the flight of the ninth Panchen Lama, which he interpreted as the fulfillment of the Maitreya prophecy and bringing about the age of Shambhala. In 1924, Rourke returned to the West. On his way to America, he stopped at the Soviet embassy in Berlin, where he told them he wanted to take an Asian expedition. He asked for Soviet protection on his way and shared his impressions of politics in India and Tibet. He commented on the occupation of Tibet by the British, claiming they infiltrate in small parties, conduct extensive anti-Soviet propaganda by talking about anti-religious activity of the Bolsheviks. The plenipotentiary later pointed out to Rourke's old university classmates in Chechen that he had absolutely pro-Soviet leanings, which looked somewhat Budeo-communistic, and that his son, who spoke 28 Asian languages, helped him in gaining good favor with the Indians and Tibetans. The Rourke settled in New York City, which became the base of many of their American operations. They founded several institutions during these years. Cor Ardens, the Flaming Heart, Cora Mundi, the Crown of the World, both of which were meant to unite artists around the globe in the cause of civic activism. The Master Institution of United Arts, an art school with a versatile curriculum. An evident home of the first Nicholas Rourke Museum and an American Angi Yogi Society. They also joined various theosophical societies. Their activities with these groups dominated their lives. Then he leaves for his expedition in Asia. And this, we would assume, is where he's bringing the Chiamonte stone back. He was also nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize by the University of Paris. He received 2 more nominations in 1932 and 1935. His concern for peace resided in his creation of the Pax Cultura, the Red Cross of art and culture. His work for this cause also resulted in the United States and 21 other nations of the Pan American Union signing of the Rorike Pact, an early international instrument protecting cultural property. And they did this at April 15th, 1935, at the White House. Yeah. The Nicholas Rorike Pact. It is a inter-American treaty. The most important idea of the Rorike Pact is legal recognition that the defense of cultural objects is more important than the use or destruction of that culture for military purposes. And the protection of cultural has always been the precedence of any military necessity. So don't destroy their culture when you invade them.
Yeah, I don't like when they do that. Period. I think that, yeah, all culture should be preserved. No matter bad, good, anything, you know. It's history.
Yeah. In the 21st century, the Nicholas Roerich Museum in New York City is a major institution for Roerich's artistic work. Numerous Roerich societies continue to promote his theosophical teachings worldwide. His paintings can be seen in several museums, including the Roerich Department of the State Museum of Oriental Arts in Moscow, the Roerich Museum at the International Center of the Roerichs in Moscow, the Russian State Museum in St. Petersburg, Russia, a collection in the Chetyakov Gallery in Moscow, the Art Museum in Novosibirsk, Russia, an important collection of the National Gallery in Sofia, Bulgaria, Novgorod, Russia, Serbia, India, yeah, so he's all over the place. H.P. Lovecraft refers numerous times to the strange and disturbing paintings of Nicholas Roerich in his Antarctic horror story At the Mountains of Madness. Little tidbit there, little fun stuff. Tying Lovecraft together with Roerich and the Chiamani Stone, it all circles back. All circles back around. So yeah, I don't know. I automatically associate these things with like the Dragon Balls, you know, like get them all and make a wish, get the Chiamani Stones together. What'll happen? The power is too great. The power is too great for you. You know what I mean? It's a really interesting concept. I've been fascinated by it ever since I first heard of it. You know, back those couple handfuls of years ago. And you know, it's up, stay there, up. Not by the chin of my chinny chin chin.
Oh, stop it.
Not by the chin of my chinny chin chin.
Ridiculous.
What if I just made that face all night?
Think you could? Could you hold it all night? Your eyes wide open like that? Looking all creepy, bulging out of your head?
I don't know.
That'd be hard, Pete.
I don't know. I think it would be hard.
Yeah.
Hard as a rock, yet I'm no sucker.
I'd say no. Don't do it.
Treble chins, thank you, Transcendent Cthulhu.
Okay, guys.
Oh yeah, Zachary is definitely ties in with them in the Hollow Earth Scroll. I mean, like the Theosophy and the Secret Doctrine influenced the occultism of, you know, World War II. There's a huge influence in the occultism. For better or worse, you know, it's not that the material in itself is negative in any way. You know, it's just the interpretations of such can be twisted like anything else. So, yeah. Take that shit out on the street, Pete. Do it tonight. Dennis Martin says. What shit? Oh, these chins? Need to go out for a jog? Is that what you're saying? Need to go out and take a run?
A jog.
You gotta have a good yog.
Good yog.
Yogging. I'm a yogger. You
What
go
is
out
this
for a run.
yogging? Yeah, what is this yogging you speak of?
John Kessel suggests a Fu Manchu goatee to complete the image. No. Zachary's glad he ended up not joining the Theosophists. I think the Theosophy stuff is interesting. I come back to it a lot. It's a topic we come back to a lot. But yeah, I wanted to visit the library that they have here in Philadelphia.
You should.
And well, I mean, not now.
No, I don't know. When you can.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Bob's pointing out there's not enough miles to fix that. Thanks, Bob. Thanks. Yeah. Pete needs a facial bra. Yes, I need a
You
facial bra.
guys. You
There's
just
not enough miles to fix. That's rough. That's rough
please.
stuff.
That's so mean.
Zach Fuchs wants to know what I would do if I got the chin of Monty Stone. I don't know. I'm not taking it back to the king of the world though.
Hell no.
I'm not going to Tibet. I'm not
Mm-mm.
doing that. I'm not hauling ass all the way back there.
It's cold there, right?
And then you got to get into the Hollow Earth.
Yeah. No, we ain't doing all that.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
My adventuring days are behind me.
Heh.
I took an arrow to the knee.
There you go.
If someone asks your name, you tell them creep. No, I don't tell people that. I don't say, hi, I'm Creepy Pete. That's not how it goes. They learn that I'm creepy by spending any amount of time with me.
Yeah.
Any amount of time. That's what'll do it. Mary Hope's going to give people facials.
Yeah, they're wondering about all this screaming going on behind Pete if he's got, people tied up somewhere in a basement there.
Nah,
That
we got
makes it
two kids that
creepy.
won't shut up. Let me close the door. I'm so used to hearing it that I just tuned it out.
I didn't say it because I could hear it. I just thought of it because people wonder if you're creepy or not. I think that would help. Screaming in the background.
No, man, Ray Hope, some kids don't sleep at all. So yeah, no. Not when you want them to.
I was like that. I was always a night owl.
Bob, Pete's got plenty of room for chins. Thank you, Bob. Yes,
Come on. All right.
Moon face. The moon. The moon is in full rise over
You
here.
guys.
Full moonlight. Full moonlight. See it reflecting the sun. I am the image of the moon. I am Isis unveiled. That's right. I'm Helena Blavatsky, come back to life. Reincarnated. I'm a Russian woman who wants to live in India. Study with the yogis. Because I'm receiving automatic writings from Ascended Masters.
That's right. Masters.
Working on that fourth chin. It's a second chin. I've only got a second chin. I'm not working on four pizzas away from the fourth chin.
All right. I'm going to start banning people.
No, you're not.
You watch me.
Don't you ban anybody.
I'm kidding.
Dennis Martin. There used to be a gangster named Creepy Alvin Carpus. He was a damn badass. Yeah, that's great for a gangster. I'm just a fucking YouTuber. I can't be going around, hey, what's up, Creepy Pete? Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Let me cup your balls, Creepy
Here to
Pete.
fuck you up.
Hey, what's up? Can I sniff your butt? I'm Creepy Pete.
Gross.
Tell them how you booked that gig with McDonald's back in the day, playing the Singing Moon.
What is it?
Moon Man from McDonald's. The Singing Moon. You're probably too cooked up back then.
Maybe.
Probably too
That's
cooked up.
it.
to remember
Speaking
my
of creepy, Burger King had that creepy thing, waking up with the king. Remember that? People wake up, dude in a weird, creepy mask next to him in bed. Burger
Okay.
King. You remember those commercials?
Yes. Yes.
Those were creepy.
So, anyway, with this Rorik stuff, I figured I'd show you some of his art here.
Oh, cool.
Let's see. So you can get an idea. What does art look like? Very interesting stuff. I mean, this guy lived not too. There's video of this guy. Like he lived, in the 40s. There's
Yeah.
even footage you can see of this dude. He was, I'm surprised he got a whole treaty written, for, a Pan American treaty signed at the White House through
No
his
shit.
efforts.
No shit. Oh, look at that.
Otherworldly.
Mm-hmm. What are these people doing? Are they carrying water?
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Treasure of angels.
Oh.
And we see from the Sancta series. I mean, so he was a decent artist. I mean, they still got a whole museum dedicated to him in New York.
That's pretty. Look at that. Nice coastline. Mountainous coastline. He liked blue and orange. Those are
Oh, well, he
contrasting
painted a
colors.
lot more than just what we've looked at now. Like, there's tons
Yeah.
of painting. I like how it ties in with this whole, like, he saw the potential in using the Maitreya legend to kind of bring about a united Asian religious awakening.
Sure.
And you can see that reflected in the work of Benjamin Krem and Share International, again, with the Maitreya theme. It's all connected. All this stuff is connected.
Mm-hmm. You proved that over and over again.
What's that?
I said you proved that over and over again.
Oh. Yeah. My hearing sucks. Resident Alien sent you an email, Pete. Check it out real fast. All right, everybody. Hold on. Hold on, everybody.
Stop the show.
Stop the fucking show. Hold up. Buckle up here. Let me see what we got.
This is a rarity.
Here's a glamour shot of your creepy face. Here we go.
No. Oh, God.
Oh, God. It's just a still image of me making that face. It's terrible.
What, a screenshot?
Yeah, let me go ahead and open it up here.
Alright. 300-second timeout.
Oh yeah, dead air. That's what I like to do. I like to get you all tuned up, like get you all ready for some dead air. And that's how we do it.
We're anticipating this picture.
Breathlessly anticipating. Yeah, I'm pulling it up now. It's taking a minute. Breathlessly anticipating the reveal.
I'm sorry, I was sipping some coffee. Antediluvian. Everybody playing along.
Let's see. Any minute now. It's just taking a minute. Just taking a minute to load. My computer's not. I'm making my computer do a lot right now, so.
I'll say you probably got a bunch of windows open.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. Any second now.
Any second now.
Any second now. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Kids
That's those people chained up in your basement. All right, who did that? I need to put somebody on a timeout. Where are they at?
There we go.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
There we go. There we go. That's how
Yeah, I was too, Dennis. I was drinking too.
Automated flight control protocol.
The shrieking. So I kept. And Seymour wouldn't listen to me, even though I kept shrieking and shrieking. Drink with the people chained in your basement. I've got some beers. I do have some beers.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a whole 30 rack of MLs, and I was like, what am I going to do? Drink 15 of these by myself, get all shitted up? Get all shitted up and use this?
Wouldn't be the first time or the last time, I would imagine.
I'm going to put an order of Total One this week.
Yeah? You got any cigars left?
Oh,
Oh
absolutely.
my god. Everything that goes wrong making a sandwich is going wrong making a sandwich. I'm trying to rush through. Okay, so I decided to go fucking crazy on the sandwich too. So it's in the fryer now. So it's going to be an air fryer, sort of grilled. It's a melt. It's going to be a turkey melt with baby Swiss. Of course, my old Swiss cheese is moldy. I had to bring out the new one. Then it's got bacon. It's got some spinach, a little bit of crushed red, and it's got the cracked black pepper turkey.
Yum.
Oh, and a little bit of banana peppers. And it's in the air fryer right now. It's got a little garlic salt on this outside too.
Sounds like the bomb.com to me.
It's gonna be
Be
good.
knocking at your door.
It's gonna be
You got
good.
enough for me? Make a second one, please. Sounds good, Micah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very good.
sandwiches are always good stuff.
Especially pepper.
Jake Carr points out 3 beers and you need to hydrate or it's bad for your prostate health. You need to eat some pumpkin seeds that add zinc and magnesium. This has been your men's health message of the
It's
night.
around here, yeah, we're all about the prostate around here.
Over 40, get your prostate checked. Right now, I'm experiencing some TMJ problems. So my jaw hurts so bad that my ears
Yeah,
pop. And you know what? I struggle
I've
through
got that,
it,
Pete.
right? I show up and I struggle through it
Mhm.
because nobody wants to hear people pissing and bitching and complaining.
It makes your whole head hurt, though.
Mhm.
Well, what can you do? You just fucking keep
Nothing.
jabber jawing. You just keep
Yeah,
jabber jawing.
nothing.
Mr. Filibuster.
Did your jaw crack when you eat, too?
No.
What?
My teeth crack when I eat.
No, your TMJ will make your jaw crack, too.
No, it's too tight to crack.
See, I always get that, but that's usually like I'll realize that I've been clenching my jaw forever, and
Yeah.
it'll pop. And I
That's
won't even realize
nerves.
it.
Sore jaw, soft lips.
Bah. Huh, that's wrong.
The love of a weirdo, the warmth of a love.
Omar rarely listens live.
Oh, well, I'm glad you got the chance to listen to it live. It's not that much different. But we get to interact with you, you know.
Yeah.
So we'd be like, hey, what's up? Thanks for being here. Thanks for
And we get to troll the chat.
wasting your time on this fucking pile of shit that we got going on here. I do my best, I swear. I swear to God. I'm trying here.
What was going on with Zach Bagans? We can talk about that for a minute.
I don't
What was
know.
going on with him yesterday?
People were pissy about a doll.
Oh, it was the fucking Annabelle doll.
Annabelle.
Some grown men were fighting over a doll.
Well, the fucking Warrens are pieces of shit anyway. They were full of shit. Yeah, okay, so Tony Spira is saying, Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures, the main guy on Ghost Adventures. He was tweeting out yesterday, I'm fed up with the nasty things Tony Spira is saying about myself, my crew, and our show. Tony is Ed and Lorraine Warren's son-in-law and owner of Annabelle. And he's got a whole Facebook response, which I can't really log into. So apparently, now the son-in-law of Ed and Lorraine Warren, who now owns the Annabelle doll, is going on about, I guess he was going on about, they mistreated it, they mishandled it, But you know, he I guess when he brought it in for them to investigate, he had it flinging around in the suitcase, and he unlocked it, and he like darted out the second that they paid him, basically all this stuff. But
Paid him thousands, right?
yeah, and then so now he's upset, I guess, that you're not supposed to ever open up the Annabelle doll. You're not ever supposed to open it up because it's so haunted and it's so cursed. Yeah, but the way you treat the fucking thing, it's like
Yeah. And he apparently Zach got possessed again. Right?
I love those guys, but I think they're full of shit.
Yeah, he got possessed yet again, and he was not in control of himself, and I think that's what he was bitching about. I mean, how could you be upset about me knowing that the doll, possessed him or whatever?
Hold on here. Omar's got a really good question. I love your old content, dude. There's 5-minute clips. What happened to them? I just did one 2 weeks ago about the disappearance of Dorothy Forstein. That's about 5 minutes. And I'm working on one for this week about the war in heaven. I'm also been working on an Antarctica one that's very big, very long, and I think I might make it the way I did the story you never heard video. We'll see. We'll see how that comes out. I'm considering trying some new methods with that one because it's going to be a larger video. But yeah, I got another short one coming up about the war in heaven, the fall of the rebel angels. That's the next video. And the last video was 2 weeks ago, and that was the Dorothy Forstein disappearance. So yeah, I'm trying to get back into making those short videos. It's been tough with work and the kids, but that's kind of how it goes. But yeah.
Grab that link.
Yeah, that's a brand new one. You can see how fat I am in that one. Pleasantly plump.
Stop!
Pleasantly plump. Really filling out a button down in that fucking video.
You're buxom, Pete.
Yeah, buxom isn't the word for it.
Fighter retrieval sequence
$3 or a bottle of Steel Reserve, says Resident. $3. Zach Fuchs says, I only heard about the Chintamani Shambhala because of the video game called Uncharted 2. But the Uncharted series always dove into mystical items or hidden ancient cities. Yeah, I had heard of the Chintamani Stone and then later on found out it was in the video game because people were leaving comments in my video about the video game. So that's when I went and looked that up. But I thought that was cool that they included that in the game. I've never played any of those games. I never had a PlayStation after PlayStation 2.
Like was it like 1 through? Is there like 4 of them, Becca? Do you know offhand?
For which?
Uncharted, and there are like 4 of them.
Yeah, there's 4 of them in a side game. Okay, here's the sandwich.
Oh no, Omar, no, I don't. I cashed out all my crypto.
Oh.
Cashed out all of it.
So good, Mecca. Look at that.
Yeah, so it's got bacon in there. It's got a little spinach, Swiss cheese, baby Swiss cheese, turkey, cracked black pepper on the sides, banana peppers, and crushed red pepper on the inside.
Very nice.
And garlic salt on the outside, and butter.
Yum.
That's how you do it in Sandwich Town.
And I did it in the air fryer. That's why there's toothpicks, so it wouldn't fly off and fly apart. It's like super crunchy too. It's basically garlic bread too. I want a little chefy.
I'd say. Sounds great. Shit, wish I had an air fryer now.
Yeah, we got an air fryer. It's
so good. You can use them for the grilled cheese sandwiches. You can use them for all kinds of stuff. I usually just put a toothpick in there to keep the sandwiches together.
My cousin bought one of her kids that big one, that ninja thing, the ninja one.
Yeah.
And while he was here for a short time, he used it. He even made rice in it. He made everything in that damn thing.
Well, that probably had the rice cooker. It probably had the pressure cooker and all the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, everything in that thing. He was making all kinds of crap in it. It was good.
Yeah, this one I just have the air. This one I just have the air fryer, and then I got my rice cookers separately. But it has a vegetable steamer in it.
That's probably easier to have it separate, anyways, because usually you want rice on the side. So.
Yeah. You do good tomato rice recipes too.
Sounds good.
Tomorrow I'm doing some grilled chicken sandwiches. So I gotta marinate the chicken overnight. And then I'll throw them on the grill tomorrow. We're gonna pick up some rolls from the deli. Lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, grilled chicken. Should come out pretty good.
Sounds really good, Pete.
Throw it on the barbecue there. I use that barbecue every fucking day.
Every day?
Yeah, like every day.
Really?
Yeah.
You got electric grill. I
training.
mean, a gas grill, right?
Yeah.
See, otherwise that'd be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I'm ready to cut into my sandwich here. I had to cut into it.
It's gonna give you that good crunch.
Ugh, I might have to mute because it's like, it's garlic bread. It's garlic toast now.
Oh, that looks awesome.
Ugh.
Doesn't it? Damn it.
It smells good because you got just a bit of heat in there with the banana peppers.
Damn it, Becca.
Yes, this is food porn now. This is what
This is a
happens.
food porn segment. That's why I'm here.
We've run out of topic.
Mm.
Sometimes that happens. I try to get topics that are long enough that I can get all the way to the end of the show, but sometimes, you know, I run out with 15 minutes left to go and we got to talk about nothing. Jesus Christ.
Let him go. Let him go.
Full-blown tantrum.
Nothing but food
Let him
porn.
go. Screaming about it. That's a happy scream. Food. Yeah, I love black pepper, fresh black pepper.
I get the coarse kind. I get the coarse ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's the good kind.
Well, I get the, you know, those the little pepper mills that are like disposable ones, and you can set the coarseness on it.
Mhm.
You know, I keep those and with salt too. Salt and pepper little mills. I hate like regular pepper. It's just like it's like dry.
The powder stuff, yeah. I don't really use the powdery pepper. I always use the coarse cracked when I get it, when I buy it pre-made. So, and I always salt and pepper everything. I cannot stand it when somebody, because my mother used to do this. She would never season anything.
What?
Yeah, she would never like put any salt in anything. She would never season meat. She would never put any garlic powder or anything in anything. It's like, oh.
I don't overdo it, but a little bit.
Yeah, just salt and pepper the meat before you cook it. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, of course.
My mother wasn't a good cook though, but my grandmother could cook. So I learned how to cook from my grandmother and how to bake.
Yeah, my mom's mom could cook great. Really good. She's one of the people who can just whip up everything by scratch, you know? There was no Pillsbury biscuits there. She'd made them, you know?
We usually make them with Bisquick if I make biscuits.
Yeah, she would use like flour and like, how do you know to do that? Oh, just put a pinch of this and a pinch of that, and you know, it's like, oh, easy for you maybe. I need a recipe. I usually do a decent job, but I do need a recipe.
Yeah, I need a recipe if it's something I don't make all the time.
Yeah.
Cooking good stuff though. I think it's important.
Absolutely.
You know.
That's my mom. My mom was ecstatic about me moving in there with her because she doesn't cook. She never has. My dad always cooked when I was a kid. And I can cook. I think cooking's easy. You know, you just gotta pay attention to it. If my dad puts it, you can't put cookies in the oven and go out and mow the lawn. So apparently that's what my stepmother does. Everything comes out burnt.
Wow.
My stepmom can't cook for shit.
No, you gotta check it.
Yeah.
I mean, my cookies will usually come out a little underdone.
Me too. That's why I like them though.
Yeah, me too.
You know,
I like them a little more under because then they'll dry out after in a couple of days.
Exactly. I mean, I'll sit and eat raw cookie dough. I like cookie dough.
Yeah, that's pretty good too.
Isn't that like really bad for you?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Suddenly, life has new meaning.
Not everything good is bad for you.
Zachary wants to know: can you grind up moldavite like coarse salt? If so, does it give you a boost? I don't know if you could do that.
What?
If you could grind up moldavite like coarse salt.
Isn't moldavite almost like a glass?
Yeah, I think it would really do some damage to your insides.
I think it would eat your innards up. Yeah.
You know, it's probably not good for the old insides.
No.
Just don't eat things that are not food.
Usually not a good idea.
Most
Yes, we really do. It's the middle of the night, you know. Let's get you all talking about food, get everybody nice and hungry, and then fucking leave them with fucking just leave them hanging.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, big boy, you hungry tonight? Check out this
God.
sandwich. But you can't get none of this.
Well, I made chicken nachos yesterday with all fresh ingredients and
Sounds good too. I haven't had nachos in a long time. I don't
For
remember
what?
the last time I've had nachos.
It's just the same as making a taco, but I just kind of like, the chips are just easier.
Yeah.
Because half the time all the stuff falls out of a taco anyway.
I used to make them in the toaster oven, you know. Nachos.
Omar has a question here. Have you ever done a topic on general witchcraft? I think we did last week, actually.
Yeah.
How it works and what happened. I heard some TikTok witches tried to hack something. I haven't really been staying on top of what's going on with TikTok witches, but I feel like they're constantly trying to hack something. I think they were trying to hex the moon the other day for some reason. Hexing the moon. I don't know what that was supposed to do. But
So tell 'em.
we did do we did do the witchcraft video not too long ago. It's probably up on BitChute. Well, it's definitely up on BitChute. Yeah, hex the moon. That's what it was. I don't know why they were hexing the moon. I don't know what that came down to, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Well, listen, gonna go ahead and wrap it up tonight because I'm out of topic, and that sounds like my 3-year-old is tearing the house apart. So I'm gonna go tend to that. Give my poor wife a break because I think we're having trouble getting him to bed tonight. I think that's what's going on.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
It's not the norm, but it sounds like it.
Yeah. Well, some days are better than others. Anywho, I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. Really appreciate you being here with us night after night, day after day, as we delve into the world of work. I want to say thank you to my panel for being here tonight. Thank you so much, ladies. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Check out the description of this video, folks, where you'll find links to my Twitter and my email. I did get that email from you, Nicole Malo. So if you're watching this later on, I got your email. Thank you. Was it a Facebook message or an email? I forgot. It was one or the other, but I appreciate it. Teespring store. Check it out. Got a sale going on. July Xmas is the promo code. Save 15% off your purchase. Check it out. There's lots of crazy cool designs up there, folks. Crazy cool stuff. You want to check it out. See what you got.
Yes.
See what you pick it out. Pick up something nice for
Before
you.
he takes them down.
They don't stay up there forever. Patreon supporters, thank you to Patreon supporters, both new and old. And if you're in a position to become a Patreon supporter for just $1 a month, that's $0.25 a week. That's less than the price of a cup of coffee. Please consider signing up with the link down below. Links to everybody else's channels are down in the description of this video. Don't hesitate to subscribe to them as well. And as we do, this has been the Creepy Little Book Live, and you've been listening to High Strangeness, the #1 late night paranormal podcast on YouTube. I've been your host, Pete, and with me tonight were Tina Tomaszewski and Mecha Random 42. And until tomorrow night, everybody, stay creeped out.